Good evening. Today we have with us a very special guest, Peter Jokes Jr. He is a man of justice. He is a lawyer. And as unbelievable as it might seem, I have never needed a lawyer before. So I expect to learn so much with him today. Welcome, Jokes Jr. Can I call you Peter?
No, I would prefer to be called Sir, please.
Sir, we have been a lawyer for a while now.
Yes, 18 years.
How did you decide to become a lawyer?
Well, it started when I was a young boy. I used to watch lawyers on TV shows and movies. They all looked so cool.
Oh, really? What did you see on those shows that made them look so cool?
Yeah, the way they could bring bad guys to justice or free the innocent, not with violence or detective work, but by being able to cleverly argument for justice.
I see that justice seems to be very important to you.
Of course, there is nothing more important than making sure that justice is served. The bad guys are punished and the innocent are free.
What kind of law do you practice?
I'm a general practice lawyer. In my law firm, I'm a jack of all trades that helps specialized lawyers with extra complex cases.
If you wanted to specialize in a kind of law, what would it be?
I like the diversity that I find as a general practice lawyer. Keeps the practice from going stale.
And can you tell us how a typical day for a lawyer is?
I don't think there are typical days for us, especially not for me, since I practice general law.
So how is work organized in your company?
Well, let's say a possible client needs some attorney services and contacts my firm. First, we need to know what kind of legal problems they are facing. If the issue is on a law practice that we have a specialization on, we can then start talking about the budget.
What happens if the client says the budget is too high?
If they say the budget is too high or start asking if we have some payment plans, we tell them that we are not interested. We run a corporation, not a charity.
Okay, makes sense. But I saw in some movies that in some situations lawyers get a percentage of money that the clients can get from a case. Does that happen in real life?
Yes, that does happen in real life. When you get that kind of client, in my firm we have a department to do the math. I am a lawyer, I don't do maths.
Yeah, that is not why you get paid the big bucks.
And if the department think we can make a good profit, we take it.
Oh, you don't seem to like that.
I like to always win, and for those kinds of cases we might not.
Oh, okay. And what happens after the client accepts the budget?
We take the money up front. Doesn't matter if the client wins or loses, we should always win.
Is there an example of a case you can let us know of, just so we get an idea on how these things work?
Yes, I need to think if are any that I can talk without breaking any NDA.
Of course, I don't want to get you in trouble.
Don't worry, if you get me in trouble, I'll get you in even bigger trouble. Well, there was this case with a chemical plant. The plant was being sued because of some chemicals dumped on a river. Coincidentally, some people on these villages downstream were getting sick.
Because of the chemicals dumped by the plant?
I have attorney-client privilege on that one.
Okay, so how did that case went?
Well, the plant hired our firm because some people on those villages tried to sue the plant, accusing the chemicals dumpings for possible making them sick.
What was the plan here to counter their case?
It was a tough case. My first thought was to get the plant's head chemist to tell in court that there was no evidence that those health issues were caused by the chemicals. But that was a no-go.
Why was that a no-go?
Because the head chemist was a terrible liar.
So what ended up being the strategy here?
It was a multiple effort process. First we trained the head chemist to talk in the most boring way possible. This way the jury was more likely to stop paying attention.
Smart.
I also tried to get that questioning done after lunch, so the jury will be with a post-meal drowsiness. But the judge set it for just before lunch.
Ah, unlucky.
No, it was okay. Could have been much worse. At least part of the jury were already thinking about lunch, so they wouldn't pay so much attention anyway.
Oh, close call there.
Finally, I made sure that the head chemist was questioned on the first day of the trial, to reduce the chance that if any of the jury were paying attention, they would still remember what he said.
Was that enough to end the trial?
No, we lost the first trial, but remember, justice is a long process, where we try to make sure the guilty are punished and any possible victims get a fair compensation.
True.
So we appealed the case for as long as possible, to the point most plaintiffs just gave up and ended up settling for much less than what the plant budgeted for. It was a great success.
Seeing the justice system working is fascinating. Was there other cases you can tell us about?
Well, yes, most times it's much simpler and rarely gets to trial.
Oh, really?
Yes, for instance, my firm has a retainer with an insurance company, and for the cases we get from them, we mostly try to settle.
Do you have an example of when that happened?
Yes, there was this recent case.
Oh.
The idiot set his home on fire and got some bad burns, something about blowing condensed milk.
That sounds familiar.
So his home was burned down and he had some hospital bills. Now this could have been a nasty case, but fortunately I managed to reach him before he found counsel.
Like my grandma used to say, it's always important to act early.
Yeah, so I reached out to him and told him I was representing the insurance firm and that he had the right to some compensation for the accident, but he had to act fast.
Oh, how did he react?
He immediately was interested. I realized that there was some desperation there, so I pounced on the opportunity.
What do you mean by pounced on the opportunity?
I mean that I wanted him to sign the settlement quick, before he realized that he could get counsel and make our lives much harder.
Oh, okay.
I told him in a case like this I was supposed to offer him around 50,000, but looking at him I fell for him and I would go to 75,000.
How nice of you.
Yes, I'm a great person. Anyway, he said he wasn't sure, so I told him that I was going on holidays the next day and would have to pass the case to one of my colleagues. That could be less understanding and keep the compensation to the expected 50,000.
Some people just have a cold heart.
Yeah, so he signed. I took the next day off and that was another huge victory for me.
And for the accident guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he had played his cards right, he could have gone to 1 million, but he didn't. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, so we are out of time today. Any last comments for the audience?
Sure, there is nothing sweeter than justice. Always aim to bring justice in your actions.
Fascinating stuff. Hope we can get you some other day again. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
And thank you for watching.
We hope you have enjoyed the show. If so, please remember to share, like and subscribe.